Okay, I just got various things I feel like talking about because this is my relaxed time. Sometimes I feel I get relaxed when I just like have things I want to talk about and I just upload it. But I want to talk about this. Number one, a lot of these people in the brown community, they're going to have to find a new hustle. Here's what I mean. Dane Calloway is he's making a lot of ground. Dane Calloway is making a lot of ground, and I'm a supporter of his too. I mean, I'm a supporter of people who try to bring out the truth, even if they could be incorrect. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Their intentions are to bring out the truth. Okay, that's their intentions. I just even saw an upload about were black people slave masters in the United States of America, and that I already knew, but for some reason brown people just did not want to talk about it. And then for me, that's the reason why a lot of brown people stay mentally enslaved. Other than other personal reasons why people might be mentally enslaved, is personal reasons for that too. But I'm talking about as a community. Okay, as a community, to me they stay enslaved. Now, because this is my opinion. To me, they stay enslaved because that right there has been out a long time that brown people own slaves. I mean, it's time to just tell the truth about what's really going on, like what really happened, you know. And I feel like once people start to accept the truth, then you will see people, you'll see people that's better, you know, you'll see a better group of people. You'll see people that's more free. But as long as this victimhood thing is pushed, and I do say victimhood thing because victimhood in the brown community does not have anything to do with my personal issue. A lot of people taking on issues, a lot of brown folks are taking on issues that don't even belong to them, but it's because it's a narrative that's being pushed, that they're taking on that issue that don't even belong to them. On top of the stuff they already got to deal with, now they taking on the issues that media wants to put out there. They're taking on those issues too when it's not even about them. And then you got to be careful what you see on the news. Speaking of that, that's going to make me transition into this. Oh yeah, but let me finish what I'm going to say about a lot of people not going to have no hustle. Because Dane Calloway, a lot of people are no longer believing this transatlantic slave trade stuff, right? Even I just looked at a video about Dane Calloway and talked about how they had to go from having the slave trade involving millions of slaves until they had to take it down to 92,000. Because the truth was really getting out there and people weren't believing the lies no more. It was too many people who were no longer believing the lies, see. Well, there's a lot of people who knew it was a bunch of lies. A lot of Caucasian people know the truth, honestly. But the stuff that they get taught by their own families, and I don't mean just any Caucasian. Some of them really don't know, but it's a lot of them that do know the truth. And they're told by their own families, and it's like an inside type of thing that they know, that they hold on to, that they don't say, and they just look at brown people and a lot of times brown people are more lost than Caucasians. Caucasians know the truth is not, I'm going to say a lot of the truth is not hidden from them. You know, but yeah, these guys that had a hustle off of the transatlantic slave, the Pan-Africanism and all this stuff, these guys that carried a hustle off of police brutality. I mean, and that's sad too. That's really sad. And that it's brown people that find it to be lucrative or something that could be real, you know. But a lot of the stuff they show in media is not real. A lot of stuff they show in media might not be real, okay? It's not to say that stuff don't happen, but what they want to push in media, I wouldn't want to give too much attention, because you got to question why they pushing these things. What are they doing? We're in a simulation. Okay, we're in some people might say virtual reality. I say virtual reality. Some people might say holographic world. But either way, I definitely know it came to me that I'm gonna say it was a thought form that came to me, as somebody else called it a thought form. It wasn't a voice, it was a thought form. It came to me and said, you might not believe it, but you are under a dome. You live in a dome run by digital numbers. You live in a dome run by digital numbers. Just a digital dome. He said, not a he, it was a thought form. I didn't hear a voice. But it said, you might not know. You might not believe it, but you are in a digital dome. That's what it said. You are in a digital dome. With that being said, so with that being said, that's why I was just talking about the truth and the hustle and using Pan-Africanism and all this stuff that's going on, you know. Now, pretty soon, some of these guys, they're going to find something else to find as their hustle. You know, they might try to go to healthy foods. Now, there's nothing wrong with talking about healthy foods or something like that if that's something you were always into. You know, some people just find a hustle, but I just wanted to just talk about that just briefly. A lot of people, they losing their hustle because you have other folks that want to bring forth the truth. And it's taking money out of other folks' pockets. It's taking money out of other folks' pockets. Other folks in the brown community taking money out their pockets. See? But see, that's what happens when you keep allowing folks like that. When you keep allowing those kind of folks, those hustlers that just want to make money. And make money off of people's pain. These people a lot of these brown folks that wanted to use the police brutality as a way to make a hustle, you know, to act like they were some kind of voice for the brown community when they just only wanted to hustle. Because they understand the mentality of the brown community collectively. They understand the mentality of the brown community. And so that was their hustle, and they was going to use that as a hustle. That's unfortunate, but the brown community, I guess, shouldn't keep allowing those kind of folks to be around like that. They can't allow it then on one breath and then turn around and say, you want the community to rise back up. You can't rise back up with that kind of stuff going on in the brown community. You can't rise back up like that. You can't tolerate stuff like that and then call yourself wanting to rise back up. Now, I'm not really into a community based on really. I'm looking more at whatever my soul group is, whatever, you know, stuff like that. I'm not really sure who that is because, to be quite honest with you, when I meet people in my daily life, I rarely meet people who just might be in my soul group. So I think I'm just kind of one of those people that just, I really don't, I'm not, you know, I don't fit in with anybody or any group or anything. I believe I'm just one of those people. But, yeah, that's it. What some people are doing is a good idea. You can't worry about a whole group of people rising up. You can't just try to get a whole group of people to rise up. You got to get the people who are going to who have the same goals and mindset that you have, or a similar mindset that you. You know, I get that everybody's an individual, but they need to have at least the same goals, a similar mindset. Or something, you know, it needs to be cohesiveness. It needs to be unity. It can't be folks that's all over the place with all different beliefs and all kind of craziness. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah, so that's it. I just feel like talking about that. That kind of stuff I don't really care too much about. Sorry. That kind of stuff I don't really care too much about. But I just felt like talking about it because I just happened to see a video about Dan Calloway. Now, I want to talk about this young lady. Okay, so somebody left a comment. Somebody left a comment in my under one of my videos, and I forgot which video it was. Cause you know what, I'm not keeping up. Sorry, I'm not keeping up with what's going on. I'm not keeping up with what's going on in media and all that stuff. And somebody left a comment saying that she don't want to react too fast to something major just happened, and she didn't want to react too fast to it because she felt like it was another Kenneka Jenkins. And yeah, I think a lot of us know by now that whole Kenneka Jenkins thing was a psyop. That Kenneka Jenkins thing that happened in, I want to say it was like maybe 2018. It was either 2017 or 2018. It was that Kenneka Jenkins stuff that happened. I want to say it was 2017 when the Kenneka Jenkins stuff happened. It was 2017. And so here it is. 5 years later. 5 years later. And I didn't know what the girl was talking, the lady, the person that commented on my under one of my videos. I didn't know what she was talking about, and I didn't try to find it out because I don't want to get into that kind of stuff, you know. And so I just happened to see some upload of people talking about a young lady I don't know what happened to her. I don't know if she was murdered or what happened to her. And it seems like this game of who did it. It's this game of who did it all again. Okay? So I just briefly heard something about this lady. And this is from other people that's sharing their thoughts and their opinions and what they feel is going on spiritually. But I have yet to look at any news clip of what media wanted to put out there about what might have happened to this lady. I have yet to really know the details of what could have happened to this lady because I see the game that they want to play. I see the game they want to play. Whatever news clip I decide to look at to see the story, it's not going to be the truth. It's not going to be any more true than whatever anybody else decide to upload on YouTube. It's this game of Clue again. It's like this game of Clue, like dun dun dun. You know? It's a game of who did it, who's the killer. Is it the cops? Is it her brother? Is it her mother? Is it her sister? Or is it her friend? Okay? I mean, after this, see, I try not to I'm sorry. I try not to, I try not to repeat the same thing over and over again. Sometimes we don't know we're repeating the same mistakes over and over again because we were in a time loop. And sometimes we don't realize we're repeating the same things over and over again because we fall asleep and we don't know that we already done things. But in this case, that might sound like another Kenneka Jenkins thing right there. Seems like it's exactly 5 years from the Kenneka Jenkins incident. It seems like it's exactly 5 years. And when they do things like that, I feel like they might be opening portals. When they do stuff like that, I feel like they open the portals, like they need a certain amount of energy and attention from a certain group of people. So they can open up portals. This is how some of these entities, some of these people remain in control. This is how they remain in control. But anyway, yeah, so no, I still have yet to know what's going on with that lady. What happened to her. I'm just looking around. That's why I keep stopping and I say, excuse me, sorry and stuff, because I'm looking around and kind of seeing what's going on. But anyway, yeah. No, I don't want to really get into what's going on with that woman because I see right now, just from the 2 or 3 thumbnails that I saw of this lady, it sounds like they playing this game again of who they playing this game again of who killed her. They playing this game again. Because they feel like people have very, very, very short-term memories. You know? Anyway, yeah, moving on from that. Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't have too much else to really talk about. Yeah, I don't have too much else to talk about. Now, I brought up the simulation. And whether this is a holographic world, whether it's a virtual reality, here's one thing that a lot of people know, that we are in a digital dome. That's what came to me. You might not believe it, but you are in a digital dome. I had a dream last night. I don't know what happened. All I remember is I started making a certain sound, and then when I made this sound, I saw a bunch of digits. Like when I looked down at my body, I saw nothing but digits. I didn't see a physical body. I saw digits. I saw a lot of digits when I made a particular sound. Something was happening, and all I knew was to make a particular sound. And when I made this sound and I looked down at where my waist is supposed to be, I saw a lot of numbers. I saw, like, if you look at the matrix and you see how it look green and you see them numbers like it's going down, you see how it looks it's going down and stuff. You know, I'm trying to, let me see how I can explain it. Think about the matrix. I think about it, and they have this green and all these numbers, you know, these patterns and these numbers, and you see like a line of numbers. It's like all of them going down. It's a lot of different numbers. That's how when I looked down at my waist, I didn't see a body. I saw a bunch of numbers. I saw a bunch of numbers. Okay, so Here's what I got to say about that. I'm trying not to take this so seriously, but see, when things have already gone on in your life and you're just not coming to the realization of what's really real and you still trying to learn, it's hard to not take stuff seriously. Because even though you're waking up and you learn it, you still have to participate in the illusion. Like, say whether it's a job or say whether it's something else going on in your life. Even though you know what the truth is, or even it's bills. Why are we in a simulation and we got to pay bills and we're in a simulation? I literally, when I looked at my body, I saw a bunch of numbers. How can you change your life? Some people say, well, life is easy. Yeah, it probably could be. And some people know the secret, and it's a lot easier for them. A lot of people go and, stick needles in folks, and in parts of Africa. They can go stick needles in folks, and you wonder why nothing comes back on them, why nothing happens to them. Because they understand the digits. They understand the numbers. You have a lot of other people that's into religion. That's fine with me, but you have a lot of people that's into a lot of different beliefs, or maybe even a lot of different spiritual practices. See, this is why I don't just hop on folks for whatever they believe. Only time I hop on them is when they try to tell me what to believe. And try to tell me the things that happen in my life, or things might not happen the way I want to in my life because I don't believe a certain way that they believe. That's when I hop on them. Because I feel like people like that are spiritual murderers. You don't tell me what entity I should believe in. You don't tell me what entity outside of myself I should be believing in. You have no right to tell me that. To tell me to believe in some entity outside of myself. And that's when I hop on them. But other than that, I have no problem with other people and their beliefs. Okay? Because the truth has been hidden. The truth has been hidden, and a lot of people who know a lot of the truth, they still got a long ways to go. Because if they knew all the answers, I don't know what they're doing here. Unless they part of the group that's controlling the masses, I don't know what they still doing here. If they got all the answers already, they should be gone already. Why are you staying around? Are you that attached? Okay, and some people are that attached. Okay, because a lot of people have enough information to get further. Some people do have enough information to get further. But it's certain type of attachments in the physical world that they don't want to let loose of. If for a woman, it could be a man, and for a man, it could be a woman, or it could be the same sex, or it could be other things. It could be riches. It could be maybe I like being able to have all this money. I like to be able to see that I can make all this money in such a short period of time and spend it. But I want everything for free. How about I like to look at all this nice stuff and know I don't have to pay for it? That's the world I like right there. Okay, that's the world I like. I'm looking around because I'm in my car talking, and some people looking at me, and they see me talking. I'm like, yeah, I'm talking. I'm talking to myself. Yeah. So, anyway, but yeah. That's all. I just feel like talking about some various topics, nothing serious. Oh, let me say this. Always accept yourself. This is going to be my end. And there's various topics, so they don't go together. They don't match. I'm saying different stuff that don't match with the other. I know. Always accept yourself no matter who finds a problem with you. Always accept yourself. And if it's something that you feel like needs to be changed about yourself in order for you to have a better life, then just work on changing that. Work on changing those things. But always accept yourself. Because who else are you going to accept if it's not yourself? Somebody else? Why are they so much better that you accept them and not yourself? No matter who have anything else to say, and I'm saying this because it's stuff that I deal with, not necessarily not trying to preach to anybody else. It's stuff that I deal with. Always accept yourself. I don't care what color, who think they better than you. I don't care who might have a more outgoing personality. I don't care who might be more intelligent. I don't care who have more money. I don't care what kind of house they live in or what kind of car they drive or whatever they do. Always accept yourself. Always. Nobody should come before you. You come from your soul. You belong to your soul. Not anybody else who want to judge you. They don't belong. They might, but they might be a part of the soul group. Okay, they might be a part of that soul group, but then you don't know. I don't know. Okay? But, yeah, that's all I got to say. And I just got to say, I had to say that because it was some things, that's the reason why I'm kind of getting quiet back and forth. Because I do, I've been thinking about some things. And it's like, always accept yourself. That's a big thing for me in changing your life. Accept you, not necessarily. You know what? With the realization of living in a digital dome, I don't really feel like there might be consequences to some of the things that people do. I mean, I know it's not, but I think what it is that people are living under a certain rule set. And people are controlled by a certain type of rules that can cause consequences. It's like cause and effect. It's certain rules that could bring about consequences. But then you have other entities that don't operate, that they don't have to go by those same kind of rules, and that's why they do what they want to do and they get away with it. Like, some entities don't have to pay taxes. Some entities can murder whoever they want and kill whoever they want and kill however many babies they want. And you see nothing happening to their family. You see nothing happening to them. And they just seem to have a good life. And no other supreme being is looking negatively upon them for doing that. The only supreme being that will look negative on them would probably be nature if they are doing things that's against the natural, the real nature. They doing things that's against the real nature. Okay, because whatever nature look like they attacking is, we are in a digital dome, so whatever they attacking that might look like nature is just a copy. It's a copy and paste version of the real nature. This is whatever they're destroying. It's not the original nature, and they're destroying a copy and paste version of it. Okay, so in a way, it's time for a lot of us. It's time for us to get what we know we fucking deserve, and we need to be violent about it, and not be necessarily violent in a way to put our hands on anybody and take a chance of going to prison. But like, we almost got to be violent about getting our stuff back. I don't know if that means going to court. I don't know if that means going to somebody's boss. I don't know if that means cutting somebody off. I don't know what that means, or if it's spiritually. But it's time to stop taking a lot of stuff off of folks. It's time to stop taking so much stuff off of folks. Because a lot of these people are not seeing any consequences to the things they do. And some of these folks see consequences to the things they do is because of they could be under certain laws. And you have the regular average, so-called human, because I'm going to call it a so-called human when we're under a digital dome. I mean, I saw codes when I looked at my body. I saw a bunch of numbers in green, God dang, that was so enlightening. See, let me tell you something. This is why I upload these type of videos. Because I was not thinking about that earlier. I wasn't thinking about that earlier. Some of our lives are effed up because of the codes. It's because of the codes. We have to change our codes. Some of us who are not who we tired of the same old cycle. We're tired of the same old cycle. We got to change our codes. It's about changing those codes. And sometimes, I get it could be satisfaction in seeing a motherfucker that kept messing with you. That I'm talking about depending on, it could be your mother, anybody, or somebody on the job, a boss, whoever, who was just so abusive to the point where it literally could burn you out. That they were so abusive till it burnt you out. And you're expected to be some kind of have some kind of integrity while they literally kicking your ass. Like, no, I don't have integrity for folks who's kicking my ass. I'm going to lie to them. I'm going to say whatever I got to say so they don't know my next plan. I'm not going to tell a motherfucker who's constantly abusing me my plans. I'm not going to have integrity for a person like that because I don't think they freaking deserve it. Why would you tell your enemy your plans and that's supposed to be integrity? But that's your enemy. Anyway, so I was just thinking about something. I was thinking about self-acceptance and all these codes and all these numbers. And a lot of these people get away with what they get with is because they know that already and they are above the law because they have been given information that is not given to the masses. That's why they keep being above the law. We got to look at our codes and change our codes. Now, it is something called Grabovoi numbers. That's Grabovi. Those are decent numbers to meditate on every day. And you don't want to wait till you're going through something real severe to try to meditate on those numbers because it can take a long time to come around. But those are decent numbers, but I don't think those are the only ones out there because I'm really careful with something that's very popular. Okay, because the Grabovoi, I think it's, what did I say, Grabovoi? The Grabovoi numbers are real popular on YouTube. They're real popular on YouTube. And anything that's extremely popular that a lot of people have used, I question how good it really is. And I do know, just with my experience, there are 2 or 3 numbers that I've used that is good. But I'm careful of just only looking at the Grabovoi numbers. Grabovoi. I keep forgetting how to pronounce it. It's either Grabovoi. I think it's Grabovoi. Anyway, it's other numbers too to look into. And probably some of the ones you probably might want to look into might be the least popular ones. The least popular ones might be the one with the real answers. I'm starting to notice that the truth is not so popular. The truth is not so popular. If you ever meditate and you notice you keep seeing like numbers and stuff and sequence of numbers and you meditating, that could be numbers that something is giving you numbers to use for your body, to upgrade yourself. Okay? But anyway, that's it. I was just talking about various things, various little topics there, and I will talk later.